Hi, Tracy Nappy here, and I just wanted to do a really quick video to show you around the dashboard area of the new WordPress 3.3 that they are calling Sonny, after some jazz saxophonist, Sonny Stitt, I think his name was. Anyway, so I think it's kind of cool that they name the WordPress releases different names. But anyway, it's pretty much looks the same as the last 2 or 3 releases, the dashboard does, but they have streamlined a few things. I just wanted to show that to you so you could more easily find things. I've upgraded, not had any issues, but of course, always do a complete backup of not only your site files, including your theme files and everything, but also your database before you ever do the automatic upgrade within WordPress and upgrade your plugins and all that kind of stuff. So just a precautionary before you upgrade, make sure you do a backup. But anyway, this is the back end of the new site, and it has these little things that pop up when you go to different areas, and it's saying, ooh, look at the new toolbar. So this is the new toolbar. You click mouse over this to go visit the site. If you had any pending comments on your site that needed to be approved, you can click that. And this is kind of cool that in order for you to create a new post or page or user, create a link or whatever, you can just mouse over here and then go down and click it, and it would take you straight to set up a new page. So that's kind of cool. You can click and dismiss that, make that little thing go away. And then over here, now if you'll notice, before you had to click on these little things to open up what was down there. Now you can just mouse over it and it has a little side pop out. Now obviously when you click on it, it does open up and maintains that as static. But if you just mouse over it, you can see, okay, what options were under there again. So that's kind of cool that you can just, it pops out like that, and you can see easily, what's underneath those side tabs over there. And kind of streamlined it a little bit, and a little bit less clicking for you, especially if you're not sure where you need to go, what you need to look at. You can just mouse over and it'll say these are all the links that would be underneath that. They also streamlined the insert media. And as here's another little thing. It says a single icon now launches the uploader for all file types. This is really cool. Now, I don't know if you knew this before, but before I noticed that even though they had like an insert an image, insert an audio, insert a video, it really all went to the same media library. So it was kind of a little bit redundant, because the window really had tabs and you could click through and upload anything no matter which icon you clicked. So I kind of like the fact that they've streamlined this. So when you click it, say I want to insert a picture into this post, right? And I'm on the visual tab. I'm going to click insert. You can either click and select files to browse just like you always did, right? We always click, browse, search, got to the folder on our computer that we wanted. But now it also has drag and drop, which simply means if you open up the window for your My Documents or whatever, and you drag over here the image that you want, hold down the left mouse key and drag it. Once you get it over there, drop it, then it starts to upload it, right? Okay, so here's this image, and this is where you change the title. This is when somebody mouses over the image with their computer mouse and their little cursor, this is the words that'll pop up. Okay, you can have an alternate text, which is always good to create alternate text for your images. This is for search engine purposes. This is also good for people who are visually impaired, and they have like a program that goes through and it's reading the text. It kind of helps identify what the images are for, and of course it can also be good for SEO. So anyway, there you go. And link. Now the link URL, it can be the link to the image itself if you want, when somebody clicks on the image in your page, for them to be able to go to maybe a full-size version of it. For example, say you're going to use a small version, but you want them to be able to click on it and see that image bigger, then you would leave this link URL to the bigger full-size version that you uploaded. But say, for example, you have an image of a product or something that you're uploading, and you might say this was an image of an ebook or something you were going to offer, or maybe an affiliate product, possibly. Then this link URL right here would be a link to either the sales page, or if it was an affiliate product that you were promoting, you would put in your affiliate link right there. So that's what the link URL is. It's when somebody clicks on the image, on that picture you're going to put in, where do you want them to go? A bigger version of it, another website, or you can even remove the link altogether if you don't want them to click on it and go anywhere. So that's your option. Alignment, I'm going to center this image, but this is none. It's going to, by default, the text will kind of go a little bit below it, or start like at the bottom of it. Left means the image is on the left and the text wraps around to the right. Center means the image is centered and the text is below. And right aligned means the image is over to the right and the text goes around to the left of it. Okay, and then you can choose what size. So I can have it be full size, medium, large, thumbnail, whatever I want. And then I can just click insert into post. And it's uploaded it into my media library, and voila, there it is. It's inserted into my post. So that's pretty easy. Let's see, some other things, not necessarily new, but to give more options, you click the show hide kitchen sink, and it gives you, if you wanted to make, different formatting choices or something like that, you can do that here. Make something like a header tag, or whatever. It just gives you some more options. Now you'll notice when I clicked on this image, it gave me two choices. If I wanted to delete the image, I would click this. If I wanted to edit that image, say, I decided I wanted it to be on the left. See, and it shows you a preview of what it would be. Or no, I think I want it on the right, or none. It's going to show you, see how it kind of starts at the bottom. You can go back here, and you can also adjust the size a little bit by doing this. See how it made it different size? Now, if you want to go back, and one thing that they apparently weren't able to fix or didn't fix is once you have to insert an image first, and then you can come back in here and go, in case your theme might want to put borders around it, the image, you could put a border of 0. If you want to have a little more padding, like you want the words to be just a little bit further away from the edge of the image, you can do that. And if you have your image linked and you want it to go open in a new window, so it's not taking them off your site, so your site will be in one window, and when they click it, it's going to open up a new window for them to go to that, so that your site would still be open and they can still go back to your site and check out what else you have to offer or something like that. They don't lose their spot. So anyway, this is kind of what all that is and means and does and all of that for an image. Of course, image tags are here. If you want to set a feature image, again, a featured image is usually theme dependent, and it might display like a thumbnail, or if you're showing excerpts on a home page or something and you set a featured image, or sometimes it's in a slider that the featured image, you need to set a featured image. If you've got a home page slider, it uses featured images to show that image with maybe overlay text or something like that on it. But that's really what a featured image is. Now you'll notice down here that I don't have a lot of, there's like this big blank spot, and there's usually stuff down there. To open up those options, go up here to the right, click Screen Options, and you'll notice like discussion and comments. If you want to choose whether some posts or pages have comments or discussions or whatever, you can choose that there. If you wanted to, have the excerpt field or the author, if you've got more than one person writing on your blog, choose that, and then you can choose from a drop down which author you want to be associated with that particular content. That's what that's for. And then the page slug is this right here. It's this permalink, what they call a permalink, but that's also the page slug. So if I wanted to change this and make the word say whatever I wanted, that's part of the URL of the page, you can click and edit that, but you need to have this visible so that you can have that option to edit that. And then just close that, and see, now you'll see the excerpt and the discussion and all of that kind of stuff. And this is the page slug. It's actually this part here. You can also edit it here if you wanted to, or you can edit it down here. And since I'm the only one on the blog, it's just got my name. But if there was other authors, you could choose that, and that person, their name would be associated with that post or that page. So that's, just some of that is basic WordPress. It really, the way WordPress functions has not changed. Just streamlined a few things, and made a few things maybe a little bit easier for you to find or access or something like that. But really, that's probably I guess the other biggest, it's not even a recent change, is the menus, is the WordPress menus. And this is not new at all to this version. It was new in version 3.0. So for those of you who are maybe still using an old version, or don't know anything about the WordPress menus, let me quickly show you. I'm going to go visit the site real quick, and you'll see I have home and sample page and things like that. So if I wanted to create, say, a main menu, you can name your menu whatever you want. The name of it really doesn't matter. And now you'll see my theme selects one menu area, and I'm going to choose my main menu. I'm going to save that. And now what I'm going to do is, if I come over here, because I've selected a main menu and I refresh it, you'll notice my menu's gone. So what I have to do is I have to come over here and I have to decide, what do I want to show in my main menu? I'm going to add the only category I have. This is a brand new blog that I just set up for testing and things like that. And then I'm going to add sample page. I'm going to add that in there. And what I can do is I can actually drag and drop. So I just hold down my left mouse and I drag and drop it and reposition it. Right, and when I make the changes, I click Save Menu, come over here and refresh the site, and there's sample page and uncategorized. Now, if I want my uncategorized, this is a blog post category, if I want that to be underneath my page, maybe I do, I can click Save. I just indent that a little bit, just drag it over there till it indents and let it go. Now come over here and refresh the page, and look what happens. It made it a drop down. Super easy, super easy. Now say I want to have a different heading. Say I want to have a heading called category, right? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a custom link. The pound sign, the little hashtag sign, shift 3 up here for the URL is like a web designer's placeholder for a link. Okay, you need to put something in there. And so it doesn't show up as broken, you hit shift 3, the number 3, and it'll put in a pound sign, and then the label is what you want it to show up as when it shows up in the menu. Like sample page, the word sample page is the actual label. I can change that if I wanted to. Now I'm going to click add that to menu, and because this is a category, I want to drag it down here underneath category. Now say I want sample page, I want to name it something else. That may be the page slug, that may be part of the URL of the page, but for the menu, I want to call it, my page. I want it to show up in the menu. Instead of saying sample page right here, I want it to say my page. Okay, you're not changing the web address, you're not changing the URL of the page, you're just changing the label for it in the menu. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to click Save. So every time you make a change, you got to click Save. Come back over here and click refresh, and see, now I have my page, I have category, and then I have uncategorized. So pretty easy. Love the custom menus feature in WordPress. Absolutely love it. Now let's just say, because I have sidebar widget areas, I want to create my own sidebar menu. So I'm gonna call it sidebar navigation. That'll work. I'm gonna click create the menu. And what you can do is you can actually, let's come over here and see if it allows me to have posts. So see the same thing on screen options, because this is a different page, there's different screen options for this one. I want to have the ability to add individual posts to my sidebar. And maybe I want to add tag. I like to click link target because sometimes I add off-site links in that sidebar, and off-site links that are going to another website. I want to be able to choose those to open in a new window so that my site remains open, and when they click that link, it'll open up a new window so they can go look at that site and easily get back to mine and wherever they were on my site without losing their place. CSS classes and link relationships, if you want to do all of that, you can. I usually let my theme dictate the sidebar and the styling and all that kind of stuff, but if you want to be able to choose a specific class maybe that you've created for that sidebar, you can check that and do that. Okay, so now I have posts available. So I'm going to click and I'm going to add that to the menu. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and create a custom link right here. Beginningblogger.com. Oops. Sorry, clicked the wrong thing. Beginning blogger. So I'm going to create that. Now, because this is a custom link, it's actually going to a different website. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to click open that in a new window. Okay, everything else, I don't need to open it in a new window. It's all on the same site. I'm just giving you an example of, you know, what you can do with the custom menus. Now, this custom menu, because I'm intending to make it in a sidebar, I'm going to come over here and I'm actually going to open this in a new window so I can get back to the other one real easy. You'll notice here that they've got, by default on this particular theme, they had, you know, some widgets already loaded up, and I'm just going to drag these down here, and just another FYI on widgets. If you've created a widget, especially if you use a text widget and you add your own custom code, maybe you're going to put a banner in your sidebar, or maybe you're running a special promotion for something and you only want to use that widget and have it available in there for a short period of time. Instead of deleting it, drag it down here to the inactive widgets so that you can use it again in the future. Okay, inactive widgets is going to maintain all that formatting, going to maintain all that code. You don't lose any of that. Just drag it down to the inactive widgets, and then if you need to use it again in another later time, it's there and available for you and you didn't lose it. Now I'm going to take this custom menu, because I wanted, you know, a custom menu over here in my sidebar that I created, and I'm going to choose from the drop down my sidebar navigation. And you can give it a title if you want, so I'm going to call it navigation. You know, you name it whatever you want. And you can create as many custom menus as you want. So say, for example, you want to have your sidebar in different sections. So let me come over here and show you what the sidebar looks like. Okay, so I've got my search up there. I wanted to leave that. But say you wanted to have a different navigation area. Say you wanted to have specific blog posts or blog categories that you wanted to display in a navigation in one section. You can create another custom menu, maybe for specific pages that you want to have listed. Then you would have a separate header. You know, like this one would be blog posts. This one could be pages. You could have another one called links if you wanted to, and you can customize those, listing only the specific one, the exact pages, posts, links, whatever that you want, that you've customized and created of your own choosing, and that's what would display in your sidebar. Okay, you can do that. Or of course you can use the default list the categories, you know, your recent posts, which is going to show the latest of those, or all the categories that you have created that actually have posts and content in them. It only shows the ones that actually have content in it, regardless of how many categories you've created. They don't display on the site until you put content in that category. So anyway, that's kind of how you can use the custom menus to customize your navigation structure, whether it's your primary navigation structure across, you know, like in a horizontal bar, or in your sidebar. And if your particular theme also has footer widgets like this one does, then you can do the same thing. You could either use some of the default widgets to fill in that space, or you could create custom menus and put exactly in there what you want. Maybe your social media links, maybe drag the text widget over to the one of the footer widgets, and you can enter in your web address, or not your web address, your contact, maybe your email. Maybe you can put a contact form in there if you wanted to, if it was small enough. Your phone number, whatever, your street address, if you're a brick and mortar business, whatever you want, you can put in an text widget because it takes HTML and can drag it over and put it in the footer. So this is basically the new WordPress. It's not a whole lot different in how you use it than older versions of WordPress, but there are some things that are streamlined and maybe a little bit different, things that you might find in a different spot or something like that. But that's the new WordPress. I really like it. I like that they're making it more streamlined, making it easier for you to find things, trying to make fewer clicks, that sort of thing. That's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. So if you don't know how to set up WordPress, if you've never done it before, and you'd like to learn more about doing that, click the link below this video and go check out my Beginner to Blogger in 4 weeks course, which right now, because that version shown in the video training is a slightly older version than this, the dashboard looks a little bit different. With what I've shown you here today and shown you around the new back end of the WordPress, everything else in the Beginner to Blogger in 4 weeks course is still the same, still applicable, still usable, absolutely, totally 100%. The basic usage of WordPress didn't change at all, even if the dashboard looks a little bit different in the back end. It still all works exactly the same on how you create a post and everything else. So now that I've shown you around the new WordPress 3.3, if you'd like to have a little bit of extra help, click that link down there and grab this current version of Beginner to Blogger in 4 weeks. When you click it, it's actually right now at an absolutely awesome deal of only $12, and you will get all of the lessons at one time. Even though originally it was dripped out over 4 weeks, right now if you click that and pay $12, you're going to get all those lessons right now, and you're going to get it at a great deal, because I am working on a new version, an enhanced version of Beginner to Blogger, and it'll come out sometime in 2012. And it's going to have a lot more stuff in it, go into a lot more detail, and it's going to cost a lot more than $12. So go ahead and grab this, get your blog started, and start off the new year with your blog up and running, whether you want to use it for an affiliate site, whatever you want to use it for, personal blogging, whatever, and get started in 2012, getting your own blog up and going. Can't beat $12. So hope that helped you. Hope you learned something today. If you have any questions, just put a comment down here below and let me know what your question is, and I will do my best to get right back to you and answer that question for you. Anyway, thanks. Talk to you soon.